Hello, in this video something a little bit different. Every now and then you take a photo and you think, I like that photo, but you just haven't captured it right. Maybe the definition's not there, the clarity's not there, the focus isn't there, but you just like the photo and you want to keep it. So in this video what I thought I'd do is I'd show you how to polish a turd, as I call it, when the photo isn't that good but you want to make it a little bit better. Now, it's not a brilliant tutorial, it'll just show you a few tips and judge for yourself if it improved the photo or not. So straight into it. One of the comments in my other videos have asked if I will show a few more of my edits, so I thought I'd just show you what I'm going to do with this. Now, it's not a great photo, as you can see when I zoom in, there's not a lot of detail there, but I kind of like it and I think we can probably do something with it, at least to make it a little bit better. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through a denoise program. Now you can either use Lightroom's denoise, but for this I'm going to use PureRAW. So if I go up to File, Export with Preset, and I could run it through PureRAW and change the settings, but I'm just going to use the last settings that I used. Now I've actually already done this already, so if I just click over to the denoised image, which is this one, and you can see at the bottom of the screen there it just says it's been run through denoise. So if we go into it now, there's a little bit more detail there, but it's still a little bit messy and I think we can still tidy it up a little bit more. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it in. I think we could probably go a little bit more. I don't want to go too much. Somewhere around there, I think that'll do. So we'll just have a quick look at the colours first, see what we can do with them. So if I go to the colours, I'm going to use Adobe Portrait, I think. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the shadows. And then I'm going to lower the highlights a little bit. Maybe up the whites a touch. Bring down the contrast and the vibrance a little bit. Now if you zoom in, it's a little bit nicer already. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to just mess with the purples and the magentas. Now I know that cormorants don't really have any magenta in them, so I'm going to turn that down. I'm going to try with the purples. You can see if I boost it up, it's on the back of the neck. I'm just going to lower that about halfway down to there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the chromatic aberration and enable profile corrections. If we zoom out, that looks a bit better. And then I'm just going to lower the exposure a little bit. Not too much. What I want to do then is I want to add a little bit of depth to it. So what I'm going to use is a linear gradient. I'm going to click on the linear gradient and I'm just going to pull that up about halfway and just lower the exposure a little bit. And I'll just give it a little bit of depth that it's flying over water. I'm actually going to remove the subject from the gradient. So there's the gradient here at the top, and if I just click subtract and select subject, what it will do then, it will just remove the bottom parts of the wings from that gradient. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to try increasing the dynamic range. Now it does do a little bit, but it's bringing out a lot of speckles and white, which I don't really want to use, so I'm not going to use that. So I'll just leave it as it is. What I'm going to do then is I'm also going to add some light from the left hand side, because obviously that's where it's catching the bird. So for the up left hand, and if you look at the image, you can see this corner up here is already brighter. So I'm just going to make that a little bit more. And what I'm going to use is one of my presets here, and I want light from the left side. I think we'll go warm. Yeah, we'll do that, but we'll move that around. So if I go back up to the masks, you'll see that's the mask I've just included. So if I pull this point up and then across, that's a little bit too much, so we'll bring that down and maybe add a little bit of warmth to that. Now what I keep doing is I keep looking at this little thumbnail up here. If it looks too much on the thumbnail, it'll look too much on the whole image, but that actually looks kind of okay. What I want to do then is I'm going to right click and edit in Photoshop Beta. Now that's opened up into Photoshop Beta. I use Beta, but you don't have to. You can just use the normal Photoshop. It'll do exactly the same. And what I want to do then is if I look up the top of here, I can see little bits of the water behind that I don't really want to include. So what I want to do is I'm just going to get the brush. So first thing I want to do is create a new layer. So if I duplicate the layer and then pick the brush, use a big brush, but keep it on the hardness on soft. And I just want to pick a color at the top around here. So if I press Alt and then click with my left mouse button, it'll sample an image, sample a color. And then I'm going to turn the opacity down to 33 and the flow to 55. And then I just want to paint over the top a little bit. Now I think I might have gone over the top of the corner then I wasn't thinking. So if I use this brush here, that reverts it back. So if I paint over there, it'll just make sure that I didn't swipe over the corner by mistake. So you can see now those little dots at the top have gone. Next thing I want to do is I want to try and sharpen up the face a little bit. So if we zoom in, we can see it's quite bitty and grainy and it's not the best. So we'll try and add a little bit of detail to that with a little bit of dodging and burning. So the first thing we'll do is we'll click on the dodge tool and we'll lower the size of the brush and we'll just target the shadows. So if you go to the top there, range and shadows, and change the exposure to 33, and then we'll just start going over. Sorry, I've clicked on dodge, I meant to click on burn. So if you click on burn again, click on the shadows, and then we'll just go around anything that's dark and we'll just kind of make that try and pop out a little bit more, give it a little bit of contrast. Lower the brush a little bit for the eye. We'll leave the rest of the bird for now, and then what we'll do is we'll click on the dodge and we'll click on midtones and we'll just again do the same kind of thing but paint over the things that we want brightened a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, don't go overboard, just kind of just dab it here and there. And I think we'll start that for now. So if I click backwards and forwards, it's kind of just add a little bit of contrast to the face a little bit more. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to kind of sharpen it, but without sharpening it, if you know what I mean. Now I've always said that I don't like over sharpened photos, and it's very rare that I actually use a sharpening tool. But if we zoom in a little bit more, you'll see around the edge here, you've got like a fringing, you've got white halos, and we can tidy all that up without overdoing it. Now the method I use, first of all, is I will use the clone tool, clone stamp tool, and I'll click on darken, and what I'll do then is I will sample a colour right next to where it's white. So around the edges of this tail here you can see some white. So if I use ALT, click on the lighter colour and then paint over the white, it gets rid of that like white halo. And you might think this is a bit over the top, but I really don't like white halos. And at the same time, this actually sharpens your image, believe it or not. Only slightly, but enough to make a difference. So what I'll do is I'll just go around the whole bird doing the same thing, just around the edges. Remember to keep stamping your colour picker, like the clone stamp, from close to where you want it to colour. Otherwise it will use the last stamp that you used and it might be the wrong shade. So just working my way around all of the bird. Not all of it needs doing. I only do it like where it's too bright and it's showing up quite a bit. Remember to use a soft brush while doing it, nothing hard. The more the photo is being sharpened, either using any of the denoise programs, that will cause more of a white halo. So the less it's been sharpened, probably the less of the halo you'll get. Okay, now I am going to use the sharpen tool just a little bit, and I just want to try and bring out a little bit of texture in the wing. So if I drop that strength down to 36, drop the size of the brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the layer. I can't see it, my mind's gone. Duplicate layer. And I'm just going to paint over some of the texture on the wing. Careful not to go back over where you've just cleaned up, or else that's pretty pointless. I'm not going to go over the face, I don't think. I'll just touch the eye, the beak. The thing with sharpening is it's so easy to overdo it, so just do a little bit at a time. And as I've said many times in my other videos, if you look around you, nothing's sharp. So I see so many people editing photos that just crank up the texture brush and sliders, the clarity, and then just get to town with the sharpening, and it just looks so unreal. So once I've kind of done that, it's kind of at that point. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flatten that and duplicate it again, and I'm just going to have a look at what the curves will do. So if I, on the new layer, click on adjustments, click on curves, and then while I'm holding down the ALT button again, I'll press auto, and I'll click on the top one, and I'll just click through them to see if anything does anything that I like. Remember, it's going to go way over the top, so you can always dial it right down. So we'll try that, but I don't think I'll use it, to be honest. And then just change, that's your curves layer that's just created, and then just click on the opacity and you can move that down to what it was, and then just bump it up just a little bit. So yeah, actually I think will use it. I'll just bump it up a bit. I think somewhere like that. So if I click on and off, you can see it's only like a slight adjustment, but it's made a little bit of difference. And I think that's all I'm going to do. So what I'll do then is I'll click on File, click on Save, and that'll save that back into Lightroom. So once back in Lightroom, what I might do is I might just increase the blues a little bit at the bottom. So if I change the temperature, yeah, that's okay. And I might try and bring up the shadows a little bit more now to there, and just drop the contrast again. I might drop a little bit of the texture, and I think I'll just leave it at that. As I said, it wasn't an amazing photo to start with, but if we compare it to what it was, so as you can see, it's gone a little bit better, not a lot. What I actually might do is I might drop the blacks a bit more. So that's it. As I said, it wasn't a brilliant photo to start with, but it's a bit better than what it was. Thanks for watching. I hope I shared a few tips with you there. I will be doing a few more editing tutorials soon, going a little bit more into detail with some better photos. So yet again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel grow. Speak to you soon.